Hi everyone! Today we're going to be looking at requesting alternative format books at Idaho State University's Disability Service Center. So right now I am on ISU's main webpage for disability services, which you can find by searching disability services in this bar right here or Googling ISU disability services. So the first thing we need to do is access the student portal. So we're going to click this right here. And then if you're a returning student, you're going to just log right into the portal. If this is your first time working with disability services, there's other things you're going to have to do first. So we're just going to assume that you're an existing student who has worked with alternative format before. So we're going to log into the services portal, and today we are going to be working with our fantastic student who is just a really good representation of all of you fantastic students. So we sign in, and the first thing that's going to happen for you is that you're going to get a pop-up saying you need to sign the alternative format e-agreement. Now, fantastic student has already signed his form, but we're going to take a look at it really fast in the e-forms. So it is this alternative format agreement right here. We're going to view it. You will need to sign this, but to sign an e-form is really easy. You just need to type your name in the provided box and you will be prompted to sign it as soon as you log into the Student Services portal. So what does this form say? Our alternative format agreement is about copyright. You will be provided with a copy of certain books and textbooks which are copyrighted material. So this is agreeing that you will not be sharing that material with your classmates or posting it online or selling it, and that's just really acknowledging what you as a student have a responsibility to do if you receive e-text through our department. So once you have signed in and you have completed your alternative format agreement, the next step is going to be entering your CRNs. This can be done under the My Dashboard. And so fantastic student has a lot of important messages. You probably will not have that many, but we are going to enter our CRNs into this 3-step process to request accommodations. The best time to do this is before the start of the semester. The sooner you let us know that you need ebooks, the quicker we can get them to you. With this, currently fall semester is almost over, but we're going to add a class really fast for fantastic student so I can show you how this works. If you've already submitted your CRNs this semester but did not include e-text in your accommodation, then you're going to have to change that. If you need any help, you can visit us on campus. We are in the Rendezvoud building, room 125. So, assuming that this is the start of the semester and you haven't put in your CRNs yet, you would enter all the CRNs for the classes that you're going to need accommodations for. And we're going to continue to customize our accommodations. So, as you can see here, fantastic student is just doing this one class. So what accommodations is he going to need? Well, he's going to need e-text. You have to make sure you have this button selected for every class you're going to need alternative text for. If this button isn't selected, you won't be able to input the book information. It isn't going to alert us at Disability Services that you need the books. So the next thing we're going to do is submit your accommodation request. Now, of course, if there's a lot more classes and you're putting in your CRNs at the start of the semester, you're also going to want to check any other types of accommodations you might need. But we're going to just submit our accommodation request right now. So now the accommodation request has been submitted, we would probably have to wait because these have to be manually approved, and so that can take upwards to a day. During this time, the best thing we can do is call to schedule an appointment to show a physical proof of purchase, which would either be the receipt for the textbooks you have already purchased or the textbooks themselves. So another important thing to remember is that unless we see your proof of purchase, we cannot give you the books. So it is very important that you show us the receipt or that you bring in your textbooks so we can verify that you have purchased them. So we would be waiting for this to process, but luckily for us, Fantastic Student already has a class where he has this where he needs e-text. So it is going to be this class right here, the testing class, where you can see in the listing accommodations, he has an e-text accommodation. So what that means is on the left-hand side of our screen, we have alternative formats. We are going to click that and it loads this page right here. The first thing you'll notice is that you have the ability to have a preference for what type of e-text you receive. Unfortunately, there are not that many types of e-text out there, and while you can give us a preference, unfortunately we might not be able to match that preference at all times. So beyond that, you'll notice this box right here. This is probably the most important box because this is where you're going to be providing us with the textbook information for the textbooks you need. So what we can do to find all this information, if you have the book physically, most of this information, if not all this information, is going to be found on the book. So this is the class that we have e-text accommodations for. So we select that class so that we at Disability Services know what book this class is for. You don't need to provide any notes, but the most important thing to fill out in this section, and if you don't provide this, we will not be able to get the correct textbook, is the ISBN. So the ISBN is a 10 to 13 digit number that identifies your textbook or any book that's been published in the US. So the ISBN can be used, it's just specifically for that exact copy, that exact print of that textbook. So different editions or editions where things have been added have a different ISBN. So what you can do to find your ISBN is you can go to Idaho State University's bookstore and then you can shop by course or shop by your CRN. So we are going to fill this with a chemistry course that is going on this semester. This is the CRN, and I just submit that, and it shows us all that's required for this course. And here we see the book that is required for this chemistry course that's happening. So you would not just enter a random course, you would enter your CRN for your course, and this would pull up the required reading materials for your class. And as you can see here, it provides us the author, the edition, and most importantly, here's the ISBN. So what you can do is you can just copy that by pressing Control-C after highlighting it, and then we come back over here and we can paste it by pressing Control-V. And so what we would end up doing at that point, since we have all of that filled in, we hit Submit Request. And by submitting that request, that shows us that you need that book, and that puts it into our system so that we can begin processing that request for you. And you're going to want to do this for every single book you are going to need and for all the classes that you need those books in. So you might have 4 or 5 books or 4 or 5 ISBNs that you have to find, but all of them will be on the ISU University Bookstore website. So once you've done that, that's pretty much it. You will need to come in to your appointment to show us your receipt or your textbooks because we do need to have that physical proof of purchase. But after that, you can expect to receive your textbooks in 1 to 5 business days, depending on how long it might take to process. Some of the textbooks, we have to go directly to the publisher to receive them, and there are rare cases where it might take even longer, but you will be contacted. Otherwise, your textbooks will be sent to you, and that's all you have to do. So hopefully this is a little bit easier than how things were going before, hopefully a little bit more straightforward. If you have any questions, concerns, or problems in the different steps, feel free to reach out to us in the description of the video again. And we are so excited to work with you this semester.